Lopez showing up earlier this afternoon. We've got rabid Los Angeles fans packed inside the Staples Center. Welcome, fans, to 2K Sports. We're celebrating the new year with exciting NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by my colleagues Clark Kellogg and Doris Burke. And it's another road game for the 76ers. They've won all 3 in a row, and they'd love to tack on one more. Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. Lopez in at point guard. Iggy and Brand are at the forward spots. Allen Iverson out there with Moses Malone.
Well, I tell you what, this makes our job a lot easier, Kevin, when you watch a team doing what they've been doing. Everybody's in sync. Everybody's flowing and grooving well. I mean, this team is really in sync and on task.
The league's marquee franchise players just love coming to L.A. Great market, Clark. Great organization.
Well, great history, too, and not to mention the championship trophies that are part of the Laker history and tradition, and it's easy to sell that because at the end of the day, Kevin, these guys are making a lot of money. They love playing the game, but they want to win. They want to be in a winning environment, in a winning culture, and nobody's done it much better in all the sports than the Los Angeles Lakers.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, I had a chance to talk with head coach Phil Jackson. I asked him what word would best describe their defense, and he replied, intimidation. He thinks their length and capacity to block shots makes teams think twice about bringing the ball inside against them. That should certainly work to their advantage today, guys.
Thanks, Doris. So defense is the key early on.
You know, it's not surprising, Kevin, when you think about the great team, so much of their game planning really starts at the defensive end of the floor. A little different look here. Great man-to-man defense.
And bringing up the Lakers, you have to mention the history of the franchise. As you go in the Staples Center, you look up in the rafters, you see the championship banners, you see the great names that have worn the Laker colors, the Laker uniform over the years. I mean, it really does. It's stunning.
It is stunning, and it also inspires you. And I think it raises you to a level to where you don't want to let that tradition or history down.
That's a great point. And, you know, people think that these young players perhaps don't have an appreciation for the past. I think that might fool some people. I think people might be surprised at how much they truly know about some of the great players that have been in this same uniform before them.
Yeah, exactly. And with the teams like the Lakers or even the Celtics, it's made apparent. Even if these young guys don't know, if they become part of that history, they learn quickly what's gone before them.
Now Johnson, after the missed 3 from Iguodala. Just 5 on the clock. Kept alive. Gasol backing down. Worthy can't hit. Now the 76ers with it. They've got an 8-0 run. Lopez with the bucket.
Speed kills after every rebound or bucket. They're pushing it ahead down the floor. They're killing them on the break.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. And playing the 76ers here for the second time.
And it was really forcing the starting 5 to get into foul trouble. That was the reason they were able to nail down the win last time, Kevin.
Here's Kobe. 20 points for him last game against New Orleans. Lopez against Johnson. Odom kicks to Bryant. Worthy. He's covered by Iguodala. And Worthy throws it down.
This is what happens when the defense lags. Wrong guy to give an opening to.
The 76ers leading by 7. Malone against Gasol. Here's Lopez. Can't extend the lead to double digits.
You know, it might be the defense's game plan to force them to shoot from outside because they really sagged off on that one.
Here's Worthy. Scooped up. Gasol. Excellent D here by Iguodala. Now the 76ers with it. They're on an 11-2 run. Here's Iverson. Buries the step-back jumper. Iverson's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, I'm a little surprised to see that one fall, and I think he might be too.
Last season was a tumultuous one for Allen Iverson.
You know, from an unhappy situation in Detroit, an aborted pairing with the Memphis Grizzlies, and then a short stay in Philly, I mean, it was musical chairs for him. And you heard things weren't much better on the home front, unfortunately.
Kept alive. Here's Kobe. Buries the teardrop layup.
What an acrobatic finish. I love the dunk, but you got to give it up for that kind of layup.
Here's Iverson. Bryant with the rebound.
There's another example, Kevin, of how they're hustling to all the missed shots to get an edge in the rebounding area.
And it's that hustle, Clark, that translates into more opportunities, getting going faster.
Yep, exactly right. They're really going after it to start this game. A nice, good start for them.
And here is Lopez following the three-pointer by Kobe Bryant.
It didn't sit well with him, that three he had just given up, so he went out and got it right back.
And the Lakers call time here. They defeated the Hornets in their last game.
One thing you started to see shape up was how well they were shooting from the field.
And then for Philadelphia, Lopez is checked in. Here's Holiday, still looking to get on the scoreboard. Screen by Brand. Shoots over Kobe. The shot's good from Lopez.
Terrific pick to set up that basket. The little things are the big things, and they can always make a difference.
Johnson, the pass to Worthy. Fades away. Rebound by Elton Brand.
He's had some problems finding the range here in this quarter.
Stolen away. Kobe against Iguodala. Tipped. Here's Lopez. Cannot. Here's Johnson. In the game against New Orleans, very impressive. You know, one of the stories last season, Clark, in the playoffs for the Lakers was after that early scare to the Thunder of Oklahoma City in the first round, the Lakers really turned it up in the playoffs. In fact, it was that Game 5, they kind of rebooted. They kind of found themselves.
Yeah, they certainly did. Sometimes you have to have your back against the wall. You've got to go through that crucible of almost losing an important game in the playoffs to be able to get your second win and to gain that extra wave of confidence. And that's kind of what happened with the Lakers. I mean, anytime you face a team like the Thunder that has the leading scorer in the league in Kevin Durant, you know it's not going to be easy, and the Lakers saw that to be true, and yet they were able to work through that.
Thunder had those young legs.
And a lot of confidence.
Yes.
And an unbelievable building.
They didn't blink. They did not blink.
Not at all. They were relishing the opportunity, thrilled to be in the playoffs, but they felt like they could not only play with the Lakers, they felt like they could beat the Lakers, Kevin.
So with Malone on the bench, this is who Doug Collins has out there. Lopez in a two-guard. Iguodala out there with Elton Brand. Then there's Allen Iverson and Holiday. Now let's find out what head coach Doug Collins had to say to Doris Burke.
The memory of what happened to them in their first meeting with the Lakers is still fresh in his mind, and he said, obviously, we need to do a better job this time around, especially against Gasol and Kobe Bryant. He told me they've switched things up and are planning on taking it right to the Lakers stars today. Let's see if they back up that statement, guys.
Thanks again, Doris. Clark, back to that postseason matchup. I mean, sweeping the Jazz is no easy feat, given you have to win 2 in a row up in Salt Lake City at the Energy Solutions Arena.
No, not easy at all, but you talk about that series against the Thunder. The Lakers had to win a 5th game on the road on a last-second shot. Sometimes, Kevin, that can catapult you to a higher level of performance in the next series, and I think that's what you saw with the Lakers when they got away from the Thunder and then were able to sweep the Jazz.
Jazz just didn't have the size to compete against Los Angeles.
Exactly. Too much size with Gasol and Odom, Bynum up front. That's an awful lot to overcome over a 48-minute ball game.
Kur was out, and Kirilenko was coming back from injury. There were some issues there for the Jazz.
Exactly. They were undermanned and undersized, and that's no way to try to beat the Lakers.
Worthy. Basket is good. The assist from Johnson. Worthy's got his second bucket of the night. Now Holiday. Not on the scoreboard yet. Pass to Iverson. Iverson right side. Takes it up. Lopez with the bucket.
They've been dominant at both ends of the floor, so the early lead is no surprise.
Artest with the ball. Here's Worthy up high and down hard.
A little bit of a statement made there while he hung on the rim.
That's one way to make sure the whole building knows exactly what you just did. Lopez against Kobe. Here's Iverson. That one is good on the layups. Iverson's got his third basket of the night right there. Here comes Magic Johnson. Right now averaging 15 points a game. Kobe kicks it over to Worthy. Leads him with the pass. And it's Artest missing.
He's not giving an inch on defense. He really bothered that shot.
Lopez. And the 76ers tack on two more.
They've been unstoppable. What a strong start.
Here's Kobe. Goes up. Great finish in traffic. Kobe's got 10.
My goodness, seems like he's got every point this quarter. It's an amazing job helping to cut into this lead.
So the first quarter is over. We've got a double-digit lead. 76ers lead by 10.
They're making the extra.
Now the second quarter about to start. Here's Johnson. No points for him. So with Malone on the bench, this is who Doug Collins has out there. Lopez in at shooting guard. Iguodala out there with Allen Iverson. Then it's Elton Brand and Holiday. Here's Johnson. And, yep, that falls, and the foul is called. We'll see him shoot one from the free throw line. Moses Malone. He's checked in for Drew Holiday. And no problem at the line here for the three-point play. Well, there's no doubt the Sixers, Clark, one of the most disappointing teams last season in the NBA.
Yeah, only 27 games won, down from 41 won the year before, Kevin. That's a huge decrease.
Lopez passes to Iguodala. That falls in on the layup coming off the feed. Iguodala's got his second bucket of the night. Lopez against Johnson. Kobe, Iverson covering. Kobe against Iverson. Pulls up, high post. Kobe misses. And Clark, did it surprise you just how bad the Sixers were last season?
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, the team had a high ceiling, low basement going into last season. I mean, they had talented vets, but young players at the point guard position. That's always tough. An experienced head coach, but a completely new Princeton offense for the players to absorb. A lot going on there that never came together.
Lopez against Johnson. Jump shot is good that time. Johnson's got 5 now.
He's been extremely active out there, and he has the stats to prove it. Terrific hustle.
Here's Lopez. Gasol with the rebound. Lakers trailed by 9. And it's Iguodala picking him up. Lopez against Johnson. Worthy. Here's Artest. It bounces out of bounds after the shot. Now a chance to check out the top NBA block leaders. You take a look at Gasol, an intimidating defender, third in the league.
Well, anybody on this list, Kevin, is going to have the ability to get stops in a spectacular fashion, in a game-changing, dramatic fashion, in a crowd-pleasing way. That's what shot blockers do.
Andrew Bynum's checked in for Ron Artest. Lopez against Worthy. Kept alive. Here's Malone, and he lays that one up and in. Malone's got his second basket of the night.
You have to block this guy out, Kevin. He's just too active on the boards to be left alone.
And the Lakers call time here. They defeated the Hornets in their last game.
You know, so often you sometimes want to discount early fouls, but anytime you can get fouls drawn early on key players, that can make an enormous difference down the stretch. And they did a good job of that.
Here's Bynum, averaging 10 points per contest. Johnson, Lopez covering. Here's Kobe. Andre Iguodala comes up with the rebound.
You got to expect more out of him here. He's had a lot of difficulty this quarter, which in turn is making it difficult for them to cut into this deficit at all.
Lopez, no luck.
They need to send out a search party to find his offense, Kev. It's been AWOL this whole quarter.
Kobe.
Little different look here. Straight man-to-man defense.
And now our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, has some info for us. Doris, take it away.
Guys, there were a lot of questions about whether last season would be Phil Jackson's final one, whether he'd retire. After they won the title and he set a record for most coaching championships, he said he was leaning towards retiring. He decided to return, though, saying, "Count me in." After a couple of weeks of deliberation, it's time to get back to the challenge of putting together a team that can defend its title. It'll be the last stand for me, and I hope it's a grand one. Guys, good to have him back.
It certainly is. Thank you, Doris. Johnson kicks it over to Worthy. Here's Gasol. Malone is on it. One thing we've seen from these guys is excellent ball movement.
And I love the unselfishness. It's a joy to watch.
Here's Brand. Gasol with the defensive effort.
In the best of circumstances, that's going to be a tough shot for him. And that was not the best of circumstances.
Johnson dishes to Bryant. Basket is good. The assist from Johnson. Kobe's got 13.
Just put the ball in his hands, Kevin, and watch him go to work. He's going to make something good happen.
Deflects the pass. Johnson, the pass to Bryant. Quickly, let's check out the Western Conference standings. The season in full bloom. Take a look at the Lakers. Best team in the conference, really having a nice season and looking to maintain that through the playoffs. And, of course, the and the 76ers with some changes. Thaddeus Young, he's checked in for Spates. Nocioni comes in for Andre Iguodala. And Jerry Stackhouse is subbed in for Allen Iverson. Here's Young. And again, the Lakers no good.
That's not something you'll see very often. Got the mid-range jumper he wanted, but off target.
Here's Barnes. The shot is off. And the 76ers go the other way. They've led by as many as 14 points. And playing the Lakers here for the second time.
Keeping starters out of foul trouble will be a key. They didn't do it the last time these teams played, and that's why they lost when they met.
Kobe, that's for two. Thaddeus Young grabs the miss. Here's Lopez. And so we wrap up the first half. More from Los Angeles.
Your Lakers. Thanks so much for joining us this New Year's Eve. And before we launch into a...
Here's Johnson. He has 5. Howe and Bynum filling up the middle. Kobe is out there with Magic Johnson and Worthy. And that's the group for Phil Jackson as we begin the second half. Here's Bynum. Rebounded by Brand. The 76ers leading by 9. Lopez with the ball. He's got 22. Malone, a screen on Worthy. Malone kicks to Lopez. From 20 feet out, the shot misses. And the Lakers go with it the other way. Looking at this Laker team, along with Dallas, LA had the best record against the East of all the Western Conference teams.
And Kevin, not surprisingly, those were your top 2 seeds in the West when the regular season came to an end.
And that one's good by Kobe. Here's Iverson. He's got 6. Backing down is Brand. Baseline jumper. Lopez, no luck. Going back to the Lakers' East record, having a good or even greater interconference record is a key to winning just in the beginning your division.
Yeah, and not only your division, but beyond that, Kevin, if you want to win the West, you need to be able to beat teams from the East, and that's exactly what they did.
And these conferences take great pride overall in the kind of teams they have, and I think right now it's fair to say that the West has a little bit of an advantage over
Yeah, I think that's been the case for most of the last decade when you take a look at it. You know, Kobe has played through a share of injuries, dislocated fingers, a torn labrum, back spasms, knee surgery. Last season was no different. Battled injuries including an avulsion fracture in his right index finger.
That free throw good from Gasol. One thing about Pau Gasol, he wanted more touches last season, and he was vocal about it, saying we need to find our balance with our interior game developing, using it a little bit more. Subtle message, but certainly one that was heard.
Yeah, and an indication of Pau being more assertive and understanding how important that is, not just for him, but for his team. The Lakers were at their best when they took full advantage of their size inside.
And with Gasol, speaking of how many touches he might get offensively, that can get to be a kind of tug-of-war sometimes, though, can it?
Yeah, but the good teams figure out how to have the proper balance between going inside and going outside.
It's Kobe Bryant on the wing, and so there's the intentional foul.
Yeah, that's a head-scratcher to me. Was that a frustration foul, an angry foul? I guess the other team was getting under his skin a little bit.
Here's Kobe. He's got 19. Hits the outside fadeaway. Kobe's got 21 in the game. The 76ers leading by 4. To Brand. He's up against Gasol. Brand kicks to Lopez. Back to Brand. Fades away. Banks it home. Brand's got his first basket of the night.
I'm not a big fan of the fadeaway in that situation, but he drained it. Nice shot.
And the Lakers call time here. Here is the list of players with the most boards in the league this month. The NBA's leading rebounder. Here's Johnson. He's got 5. Here's Gasol. Rebound by Elton Brand. And the 76ers with possession. They've led by as many as 14 points. They come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
I love what I saw from their offense. Not that their defense was bad. As a matter of fact, it was pretty good as well. But good plays, well executed, especially on offense, that was the difference.
Worthy's shot is good. Here's Lopez. 24 points for him. Under 7 minutes. Left in the third. He's guarded by Johnson. From the line, and the 76ers tack on 2 more.
You don't have to worry about him leading the team in scoring, but he will find ways to get involved on the offensive end.
It's blocked.
He just hasn't been able to get on track in this game. Not like he would like to. He's a much better shooter than he's shown.
Backing down is Brand. Here's Iguodala, and the 76ers tack on 2 more.
Nice dish to find the open man on the perimeter there.
Lopez against Johnson. For the up. Oh! Wow!
Watch out below. Run for cover, young fella. Fantastic pass for the alley-oop. You got to love that action.
Looks like they've worked on that one before, Clark.
Yeah, they've done it countless times.
Lakers trailed by 9. Outside Worthy. Rebounded by Brand.
Well, it's hard to believe that we're at this point in the game and he still hasn't registered a single point. When he gets it going like this, you got to double team him. That's your only hope.
And the Lakers have possession. 11-point game. Next up on the schedule, the Grizzlies. That'll be a home game. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. Kobe against Iverson. From 11 feet away, Kobe misses. And the 76ers with possession. They lead by 11. And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Guys, Pau Gasol's so gifted, but Kobe Bryant said, I get on him a lot because I don't want him to be comfortable just being a great player. I think he can be even better. He has so much talent. Offensively and defensively, he can do so many things. I want to see him take another step. When asked about who his favorite player in the NBA was, Kobe's response, guys, Pau Gasol.
They've become a terrific tandem. Thanks, Doris. Lamar Odom is checked in for the Lakers. And he completes the 3-point play.
Check out the game for Johnson. He has 8 points, and his huge assist tally makes it all the more impressive. His success in the assist department is carried over to the free throw line.
Here's Lopez. Off from 3-point land. Lakers trailed by 8. Here's Johnson. He's got 8. Here's Worthy. Rebound by Elton Brand.
The defense couldn't close out on the mid-range J, and the shooter made him pay.
Iguodala sticks it from 17 feet. Iguodala's got 12. Johnson outside. And again, the Lakers no good.
He's had some problems finding the range here in this quarter.
Philly, given where they finished overall, did relatively well against the West.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, 13 wins and just 17 losses, close to 500 against the West. Of all the teams in the East that didn't make the playoffs, they did have the best interconference record.
So it's the Lakers now, down by 12. James Worthy on the wing. He's covered by Iguodala. Nice shot by Worthy.
He's been a go-to guy for him here in the quarter, doing an outstanding job putting the ball in the basket.
And Andre Iguodala with the slam. He's got 14, 9 in this quarter alone.
Good execution on the break leads to the nice bucket.
Kicks it to Odom. Gets rid of it. Kobe dishes to Gasol. And almost gets it to go, so he'll shoot 2 here. It goes on Moses Malone.
Tough interior defense means not allowing easy baskets. Good foul. Gasol and Bryant speak to each other in Spanish, so their opponents aren't quite sure of what they're talking about. They do recognize, though, that combination is lethal.
Iverson against Kobe. To Lopez. Can't hit. And the Lakers go with it the other way. We talked about Gasol and Kobe both speak. Oh!
There are just not many guys who can throw it down like that.
Well, you're not going to see a much better finish.
You got to love to see that kind of flair and flavor. I like it.
I do too. Knocked loose. Kobe with the steal. Goes up. And then Johnson with the dunk.
Great D leads to easy offense.
The 76ers leading by 6. Kicks to Brand. It's tipped. He's got 10. Johnson outside. Outside, Kobe. Here's Odom. Kept alive. Here's Gasol. Rips it down. That's 8 unanswered points.
That's why he's got the reputation as one of the NBA's great rebounders. Because of putbacks like that.
Well, that's what we've become accustomed to when he gets in position under the glass like that. Blocked. Here are the Lakers with the ball. They've outscored them 10 points to 2 during this run. Bryant dishes to Johnson. Pass to Worthy. Lopez is there. Releases. Worthy, no good.
Boy, they've really been scrapping for rebounds in this one. Neither club really dominating the other one.
Worthy against Lopez. In low to Brand. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's going to go on James Worthy. And he knocks down the first one. On our test, he's checked in for Lamar Odom. And then for Philadelphia, Lopez is checked in. Here's Johnson. Here's Scott. Malone grabs the rock.
He really needs to hit that consistently, or they'll just keep letting him shoot it.
So on the floor for Philadelphia, Lopez. He's in at the point. Iggy and Brand are at the forward spots. Moses Malone out there with Allen Iverson.
When he goes up, sometimes you think he might never come down.
Well, won't be the last time we see one of those slams from him. Here's Johnson. Taking a look at the 76ers. Lopez, he's in at point guard. Iggy and Brand are at the forward spots. Allen Iverson out there with Moses Malone. And the basket by Johnson. Here's Lopez. And with a basket this trip, he'd have 30 points for the game. Kobe against Iverson. Now Brand. Pass to Lopez. Good from the high post. Lopez has got 30.
Kicked it to the right. Guy at the right time. That's a good pass.
Here's Worthy. Iverson against Kobe. Kobe draws the double. Again, the Lakers.
That's exactly where the coach wants him to get his shot, Kevin. Right there from mid-range.
Iverson against Kobe. Over Bryant, and the 76ers tack on 2 more.
They're over 50% from the field now after the early troubles. That's impressive. That's a pretty good turnaround.
Johnson kicks to Bryant. Iverson covering. Shoots from 12, kept alive. Scott. Gasol passes to Bryant. Over Lopez. And there's Kobe. That's good on the assist by Gasol.
Just put the ball in his hands, Kevin, and watch him go to work. He's going to make something good happen. He lets go of another one here, Kevin. I mean, he's got to step back and slow down a bit here. I think he's rushing himself.
Here's Lopez. Places one from 3. Lopez has got 33. The Lakers really having a tough go here. They trail by 16, and the Lakers call time here. They're behind by 16. 2:55 left in the fourth. On our test, he's checked in for the Lakers. And the 76ers will go for a different look here. Spates checked in for Malone. Young comes in for Elton Brand. Nocioni is checked in for Andre Iguodala. And Jerry Stackhouse is subbed in for Allen Iverson. Here's Kobe. Off the inbound, and he hits the jumper for 2. He's got 31.
Boy, he's making it look really easy right now. I expect them to continue to run the offense through him until the defense makes him change plans.
Here's Stackhouse. Spates with a screen on Kobe. Here's Nocioni. Can't get it to go. And it's the Lakers taking it the other way. They defeated the Hornets in their last game.
You know, so often you sometimes want to discount early fouls, but anytime you can get fouls drawn early on key players, that can make an enormous difference down the stretch. And they did a good job of that.
One thing we've seen from these guys is excellent ball movement.
And I love the unselfish. It's a joy to watch.
Johnson against Lopez. Down low, Stackhouse. And he's able to score the bucket. Foul called by the official. So one free throw for him right here. And he makes the free throw.
A good job getting to the line here in this half. I mean, I think that speaks a lot to this team's fortitude. They were determined to get that ball inside and draw foul.
Now here's Johnson for three. Scooped up, tipped away.
It's been fun to watch Gasol in this one. He has 9 points and 2 rejections. His defense has been equal to his offense today, and both have been great. Kevin, they've been very efficient from the line today, extremely efficient, especially here in the second half. I mean, they've not missed one yet. 100% from the line, that's strong.
Here's Stackhouse. Pass to Lopez. And it's Johnson picking him up in low space over Gasol. Time running out for the Lakers. It's a 13-point game. This is the second time they've matched up against Philadelphia.
A team that played them really closely last time. Quite a finish. But it really came down to what it often comes down to, Kevin, free throws.
And here are the 76ers now, following the miss by James Worthy. And here's Young. Another shot. Bryant with the rebound. 1:02 left in the game. Here's Johnson. And again, the Lakers no good. A big differential there. These real close games, sometimes there's just one stat, Clark, one stat you can point to.
And Kevin, it seems like more often than not, it's free throw shooting. Sometimes one team just has a nose for not only getting to the line, but converting those charity tosses.
And the first one at the line is good. And
Thaddeus Young, 2 shots.
so it's the